Out, yeah, recording.
Clap on 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's see. I sure wish old Ben Maddox would have answered his phone instead.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. I'm your host, Gaby Moraga. With me today, once again, primary guest host, Dan Hughes. Hello, Dan.
Hello. Hello. It's lovely to see your joyful yellow face. Like the sunshine in the Teletubbies shining out at me. That's what it looks like.
It's not yellow, it's brown.
That is
brown.
a jaundiced face.
Let's see, I'm drinking my whiskey right now.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to episode 2 of As the World Spurns, the podcast about two hosts spurned by their partners of their other podcasts. So here we are together yet again.
The Losers Club. That's what we like to call ourselves. The Losers Club.
And not only have I been spurned by my own podcasting host, I'm with Dan Hughes' secondary option to Cora.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Cora, and Dan she said nope.
Yep. She knows her own mind. She's too busy downstairs on her latest obsession, which I'm loath.
What is that?
Well, I'm loath to tell you because I'm stealing the scoop from the Spreadly Board podcast. Which I'm. When does this go out, Gaby?
Wednesdays.
We'll have released before then. Rubik's cubes. She's obsessed with Rubik's cubes at the moment.
Oh, really? Welcome to the 80s, Cora.
Exactly. She's got her. I don't know if this was an 80s thing, but those straw, is that with glasses? You put glasses on and then you suck through the straw and the liquid goes through the glasses and into your mouth. Is that an 80s thing?
Yeah, I think, I remember them.
And what were those glasses with the Venetian blinds?
Oh, those were 90s. I think those were 90s. Yeah.
Cool Dog and the Dweebs, he had one of them.
Yeah, and some Hobie clothing, or OP, Ocean Pacific. I used to have many a brightly colored neon short and shirt I would wear as a young man.
Indeed. And what about Global Hypercolor? Did you have some Global Hypercolor t-shirts?
Is that the stuff that changed when you got hot or cold?
Yeah, the ones that glow bright pink underneath your armpits.
Yeah. Everywhere you got hot.
Yeah, everywhere you got, all the places where there's sweat stains normally.
I don't think I had one of those.
Oh, I did. I had one where he was in a zoot suit like a blues brother. And then when it was warm, oh yeah, he came in Bermuda shorts, baby. The black disappeared, and he was in Bermuda shorts, and I was cool. Yeah, baby.
Wow.
That and my Tasmania t-shirt drove the women wild.
What year was that? 1994, 95? Something
like that. I'll have been 18 years old. 17 years old, just in charge of my own clothing budget from my parents. And the reins were handed over to me.
Did you have a significant other at that time in your life?
I did. Yes.
You did?
I did. I had a girlfriend once. Even before I was married. Once. Yeah.
How many girlfriends did you have before you were married?
This is none of your business. 2.
Really?
2, unless you count my wife as well. In that case, 3.
Old gigolo.
Yeah, well, I'd like to...
Man about town, were you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
It must have been the zoot suit, Bahama shorts.
I was bringing the board gamers average up. Oh, yeah. 2 girlfriends, that's normally enough for 5 different board gamers. So.
My wife is my one and only. She was my first and my last. Now, that's not to say I didn't have many people clamoring after me.
Yes.
I was just too ignorant and foolish to understand body language. I remember my best friend's cousin. She was an attractive gal. She leaned in to kiss me on the lips, Dan. She leaned in to kiss me on the lips.
Yeah.
What did I do? Chaste man that I am. I turned to my cheek.
Were you going out with your wife or to-be wife?
No.
So you were free and single?
I was free and single. I was just an idiot. I don't know. I literally had no clue about signals, relationship, girls, nothing.
We've all got stories like that, Gaby. I used to do this volunteer thing where I used to work on a suicide hotline when I was in university, and there was one particular fellow volunteer who every shift I was on, which was once a week, used to come in and bring me puddings and desserts that she'd made herself, homemade. And I thought, oh, isn't she nice? What a nice friend she is. And I even thought, I find her really attractive, but I daren't ask her out. It's like, an idiot.
I feared tremendously ever being rejected, so I never did that. I never initiated. In fact, with my wife, she initiated it. I just was along for the ride.
We're just a couple of idiotic men, that's all.
Yeah.
We were blind to our sheer animal magnetism. That's what it was, Gaby.
Oh, I yearn for those days when I had hair. Back in the hair days, I call them.
Yeah. I
hair today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I started going bald when I was like 20, so I'm not that bothered. Never bothered.
I was in my 30s when I started thinning.
You see, that was associated with aging then, wasn't it? Well, I always thought, well, if I'm bald at 20. It's the Steve Martin thing. You know, Steve Martin was going white at the age of 20, so he never really associated with aging for him. He's a man with white hair.
My mother had thin hair, and they say you get it from, I don't know how true this is, genetics, but I've always heard you get it from your mother's side of the family. Because my dad and my brother still have full, luscious heads of hair.
Have you done a paternity test? Are you really? Could this be?
Our milkman, however, was bald. So I had one story here. Recently, there was a bird named Thor that let a kangaroo named Baxter loose into the wilds of Louisiana, and he was hopping down the road in East Baton Rouge. So a kangaroo was running loose in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is quite a sight. Because I think...
Is that it?
I think it's hold on! I haven't gotten to my puns yet, so hold on.
Okay. All right, okay.
Ah, jeez. God forbid I hold my...
Don't get hopping mad.
God forbid. You can't beat me to it.
I've got there first.
Heaven forbid I pick up my phone and look at it while you're on here.
Yeah, out of your pouch. Pouch. Kangaroos have pouches. Pouch.
Well, my first issue is, okay, well, actually, they captured the kangaroo. It wasn't that big of a story. And it's an exotic animal, I don't think they were even supposed to have him in the first place, so he got shipped back, I believe. But my issue is his name, Baxter.
Back to Australia. Back to Australia, where it should come from. Get back.
Get back where you came from, kangaroo.
Yeah. Go back to your own country. That's what I say.
But what?
I was only Joey King about that, by the way. I'm not really racist. I was only Joey King. I just wanted to make a quick book some male kangaroos. Maybe.
Really?
I don't
know that.
I think they are.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wallabies.
Yeah, well, I was going to counter your...
That's a baby, right?
No, you idiot. A wallaby is an entirely different species of marsupial.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. A wallaby. There's wild wallabies around me. That's why I was going to counter your rubbish Louisiana.
You have kangaroos in England.
We do. Yes. No, not natural kangaroos.
So did they commit crimes and those are the ones they also sent off to Australia?
It was an exchange program. we sent them the criminals. They came back with the wallabies. Now, a wallabies it's like a smaller kangaroo, but it's a separate species. I don't know if they can breed. I doubt it. But there are wild wallabies on the moors around my house. That's because they've escaped from the wild, and the moors happen to be quite a good place for them to survive, apparently. So you do see a wallaby very, very periodically around us.
You're seeing them on the moors less and less.
No, you see, the Joey King pun, Joey King was really good.
Well, you never let me get to my thing. His name was Baxter. Who names a kangaroo Baxter?
Go on.
Baxter? No, don't. You act like I'm just saying. It irritated me that this kangaroo's name was Baxter. Baxter sounds like some old white guy with his sweater laid upon his shoulders with a tennis racket in his hand, ready to go play.
Yes.
Nobody names a kangaroo. I was thinking, why not a name like Reuben or Rupert? Something kangaroo related.
That's the direction that you're going.
Even Rupert would be better than Baxter.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, boomer. Do you know why I'm saying that? Okay, boomer, because a boomer is a male kangaroo.
As an Oklahoma native, we usually associate different things with boomer. Boomer sooner.
That was a real flyer of a pun, wasn't it? Because a flyer is a female kangaroo. Your Australian listeners are going to be rolling on the floor in absolute hysterics. Their corks are going to be coming off their hats and all sorts. It's going to be they're going to be in absolute fits of tears.
They'll be asking for your qualifications.
Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho!
And I don't even have that one written down. That one's in my brain.
What
Kang Kong. That should be his name.
So have you written these puns down? So you've actually spent time thinking about them?
No, I just came up with that. Sometimes I do write things down. Like, for instance, I wrote down here, Wordle the board game, Dan. Excited? I know you love Wordle.
Wordle the board game. No, I'm going to have to block you on Facebook for a month.
Did you know that was a thing?
I could see it being a thing. It's an easy cash-in, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know what you... to me, the only way it would work is if everybody has to start off with the same word, and then it's a race to see who gets there the fastest.
Yeah, well, that's probably how it works, isn't it?
Well, we'd have to. Otherwise, it's stupid. I'm over Wordle. I'm so over Wordle.
Everyone's over Wordle.
My family's not. We have a family thread where everyone does their Wordle every day and posts it.
Wordle, as a dyslexic man, things like Wordle make me feel left out, therefore I sulk. I hate Wordle.
You think it says world?
That's it, yeah. I was terrified at Christmas, being dyslexic, because I thought Satan was coming down my chimney.
Oh, are you really dyslexic?
Yeah.
Jerry is dyslexic as well.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't realize that.
So y'all get more and more alike.
You take that back! You take that back! Alike.
You're yelling at me. Yep, you're just like Jerry.
And I'm drinking beer. Well, I imagine Jerry would be on the cocaine by now. I bet Jerry didn't know a male kangaroo's called a boomer. I still don't think I'm not entirely sure that's true.
Fake news is what you're saying. Fake news.
Yeah, it can be a buck or a boomer, apparently. They have funny words for things to Australians. I'm Australian as well. Did you know I was Australian?
No, but it doesn't surprise me. You sound kind of like it.
Well, that's not true at all, but yeah.
Yeah. Every time I try to do an English accent, it always goes into Australian.
Okay, go on then, do your Australian accent.
Actually, I wanted to hear you do an American accent, because I don't think I've heard you.
No, I refuse. Because I'm not insensitive. I don't mock the afflicted.
Oh.
It's not my place to come round here and tease the unfortunate. No, I can't do accents.
See, that's so weird that American is not even an accent to me. Like, it just sounds like, especially like people from the, I'd say Midwest or West. To me, I don't even hear an accent.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. I mean,
like Mike DeLizio doesn't have an accent to me.
Well, he does, doesn't he? Everyone has an accent, you idiot. You sound like Foghorn, Foghorn T. Leghorn or whatever his name is.
I say, boy, how dare you?
That's it, yeah. Oh, your eyes rolled back into the back of your head then.
I was thinking. That's what I do when I think. I'm searching for thoughts back there somewhere.
Okay, fair enough.
So let's see. I'm trying to figure out, I have one more. This will post in 2 weeks from recording, so your sporadically bored episode will be safe.
2 weeks from recording? That's ages away.
Well, I do have one in the bank, but that's it, and it's impossible to get with Jerry before then. So okay. I'm preparing ahead of time. Okay. I'm always thinking of the listeners, Dan.
In that case, I can tell you that there's going to be a Cora Quest expansion. No one had guessed it from my last appearance.
Got you. I'm posting it this Wednesday.
No!
Foiled again.
I've been outsmarted by a buffoon.
You kind of said it last time.
I did, but don't tell. I had to keep it. I had to exclusively reveal it on the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, which is why I couldn't say it before.
Okay. No, I won't post this for 2 weeks.
Well, it's all right. It's going to be announced on Thursday coming up, so that's fine. So
is it going to be Kickstarter? Or is Bright Eye doing it, or what?
Yes and yes. Well, sort of yes and yes. Yes, it's going to be Kickstarter. Me and Gary are running the Kickstarter, and then we're going to hand it over to Bright Eye to do the fulfilling and stuff like that. So it's they're going to do all the logistical stuff, which is basically still Mark Cook, so it's exactly the same as what happened with the original game. But he's now doing it under the guise of Bright Eye Games.
Is there something that is game-changing, or is it just additional things that are in the base game?
No, it's game-changing, baby. Game-changing. It is now set in the Dune universe.
Oh my God.
And there's going to be zombies, and there's some Star Wars stuff. Dune Quest it's going to be called. No,
Marvel's Avengers Dune Quest Cora Quest.
It's all minis. There's going to be 700 add-ons, and the all-in is going to be $7,000. Oh yeah, baby.
That's the big box.
That's the big box, yeah. And that's just a life-size mini of me.
you're gonna clone Cora and send copies of her with every box.
Exactly, and she'll do the Rubik's Cube for you. No, there's going to be you're going to have to level up your characters. Previously, we didn't add a leveling up system or a campaign system in the thing, but now we have. So there's going to be more of everything, and you can level up your characters, basically. And there's going to be new environments within the dungeons. There's going to be slime pits and ice caverns and various other things. It's all quite exciting. I'm quite excited about it, but I'm not here to plug that, so I do apologize.
Did you have these ideas when you were creating the original, or did this come upon you later?
No, they came upon us later. By popular demand is the campaign system. That was one of the criticisms people had, that they couldn't keep their equipment through, and they couldn't level up their characters and things like that. So I thought, well, okay, that's fine. And then there's loads of new adventures and stuff like that, which yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And if you want to know more about it, then you can join our mailing list on CoraQuest.com. There you go.
Or check out the video. Is the video going to be posted before this podcast comes out?
Yeah, on the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular. But to be honest, it'll just say exactly what I've said. It's only a 4-minute video. So go to CoraQuest.com and that will tell you when it's launching. That's the issue. You need to know when it's launching, because you need to know when to press buy 30 copies.
So you have purchased the domain CoraQuest.com.
Oh yeah, baby. We've had it for ages.
You pay on that every year?
Every month.
Every month?
Yeah. Just in case, it all falls through. You never know.
I mean, it's an established game. I think you're safe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
So we were discussing before the podcast, much to my dismay, I live in Texas, so we're used to ridiculous amounts of heat. I remember the summer of, it was either 97 or 98. There was like 20 or 30 straight days of 100-degree weather. Well, apparently we're shooting for that record, but we have air conditioning. Dan was saying you don't have air conditioning?
No, I don't know anybody in a residential house that has air conditioning. The only places that have air conditioning are generally supermarkets have air conditioning. Even hospitals don't have air conditioning.
So what do you do when it gets hot? Open a window, turn on a fan? I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, it generally doesn't get as hot as it gets in Texas. So what you do when it gets hot is you complain very loudly about how hot it is. That's usually... You walk around saying it's too hot. It's too hot.
What's your general temperature?
Well,
I mean, before climate change.
No, right. In summer, your general temperature is probably around 20 degrees Celsius. So now we have to type Celsius to Fahrenheit into...
Hey, Siri, what's 20 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
20 degrees Celsius is 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow. 68 degrees. That's nice. That's a little chilly.
Not that chilly, but yeah, I'd say about between 20 and 25, that's your kind of normal summer temperature. It will sometimes get up to 30.
So that's like San Francisco type weather.
Yeah, there's 3 places in the world that has the UK type of climate. There's Seattle, there's the UK, and there's New Zealand. They all share a same kind of climate, just kind of really temperate.
Is that because they're on the same latitude or whatever that line is?
No, no, Gaby, it's not.
What? How dare you laugh at me?
Because it just your knowledge of geography has entertained me. No. I think it must be like sea conditions and various, streams and climate streams and stuff like that. But yes, it's going to be the forecast is it's going to be 104 Fahrenheit here on Tuesday, which is the hottest it will have ever been in the UK. And we are all quite worried about it. I'm particularly worried about it. I'm working, and I'm going to be driving around in my car, which does have some air conditioning, although I've never maintained it and it's 10 years old. So not a great deal of air conditioning.
A life without air conditioning is like just beyond a person from my area's comprehension.
Yeah. So that's why people in like Texas and stuff, when they hear our temperatures, will mock us. Oh, well, but can you imagine? It's about always being that temperature. It's not. There's no escape from that temperature. That's why we're all very worried about the very high temperatures, which is very much global warming. And I suppose we're going to need to get used to it. But it's pretty terrifying. So yeah, the hottest it normally gets here is 86 Fahrenheit. That's kind of your hot day.
Yeah, I need to move north. I despise the heat with every fiber of my being. I hate sweating because, for instance, I was inside my air-conditioned home yesterday, but my recliner chair, which apparently gets too used, and this may be the reason I'm slightly overweight, but I broke part of it. So I was trying to drill a screw into it yesterday. I tipped the chair over, drilled a screw in there.
Oh, that's a shame. I had a vision of you tipping it over while lying
well, no, we did that as well, and that's the reason it required screws. I kind of flopped down a little too hard and knocked it backwards. So, in the process of me taking a drill and putting 3 screws into this chair, I was sweating profusely.
Yeah.
As if I was doing jumping jacks in the attic. It makes no sense. I sweat profusely. Thus, I want to move to the north.
Yeah, do it.
But I can't. I have old parents in this area that need to be taken care of. So we're stuck here until they die.
North. Move them to the north and then push them out onto the snowdrifts like they do, like the Inuits do. Do that.
I guess that's an option instead of them just dying.
Yeah. Just hurry it along a little bit. That's what I say.
Out you go.
Yeah. Where's your will, mother? Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, Let's see. I do have a gaming question that was asked to us on our Facebook group.
I'm ready for it.
It was a new member, and of course they had a name that is not one I usually see here in Texas or Oklahoma. It was a Michael, but the L had like a slash through it. And then like the rest of the name was like, it looked like Eastern European or something to me.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so this
Mikkel.
They asked a top 10 list of 5-player games.
10?
And I replied in the Facebook post, I said,
get bent.
Well, first of all,
you can't tell me what to do.
First of all, Mikkel.
Yeah.
We don't play 5-player games.
We don't play 5-player games, Mikkel.
No, I don't have 4 friends. I've only got 2. And we play 3-player games around these parts. Also, I have zero desire for the most part to ever play a 5-player game.
Well, that's where you're wrong. That's where you are wrong, because a good 5-player game doesn't have those downtown moments, which is what you're going to say, because you were... Well, what?
I understand. There are some... Well, I was thinking there's games like Anachrony. There's games like Scythe, Underwater Cities. Yeah. If you go beyond 3-player with those, oh my God. You're just waiting. Downtime Abbey. Downtime Abbey. That's a callback. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that's not the game there. Go on then. What's your top 20 5-player games? I asked them what type of games they like, and they replied they do like worker placement, like light to medium weight Euros. So that's the style. So I was thinking, like even Viticulture is a smooth game, but at 5 players, I would have no desire. No, you can just about get away with loads of water deep at 5. I think that moves quickly enough. Go ahead. Sorry. No. I've got a list of things, but they're not. The Euros, sort of, but the more, as you say, the more thinky a game is, the less you're going to want to play it at 5. That's why the ideal player count for most Euros is 3,
because you need enough.
Yeah.
You need enough for some competition going on, but not enough that you want to hurl yourself out the window because everyone's taking too long. So the better ones at 5 are the ones with the more player interaction, which usually means they're slightly less thinky games and more intuitive games.
Well, that's what I was thinking. There's like some genres that lend themselves more towards that, like auction.
Yeah. Auctions.
Like high.
Yeah.
I said high society.
Yeah. That was one of mine. Modern art. That's another one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. QE. We played that at BGG.
Yeah.
With I forget. I think we had 6 players in that one, and it's real good because you're all playing at the same time. You're bidding and you're involved. The only game. I mean, I didn't get much time to look through, but as far as like area control, one I think would be good, although you would get very angry, is Godfather Corleone's Empire, because it is super cutthroat. It would be very tight, and you would be constantly engaged because you're going to get blown off the map and you're going to want to seek revenge, that type of thing.
But the good thing about area control games with higher player counts is with 3-player games, area control doesn't work very well because there's always 2 people going up against 1 person, which feels really unpleasant. Whereas at least with 5 people, there's usually a few skirmishes going, a few conflicts going on with various people. So that works better. The auction games are your classic ones, your modern art, your high society. One game that I really recommend at 5 that has got lots of chunky Euro mechanics, but also lots of auction type elements is Keyflower. That is a fantastic game and scales really, really well. That scales well at 4, at 2, and at 5, which is uncommon. So that's a good one. And the other one, which I would really recommend highly, is Libertalia. That's a good game with 5 players as well.
It seems to be all the rage. We just something about it just didn't click for us, but everyone else seems to like it.
Well, you've got no idea what you're talking about.
I had down Godfather because it's the whole area control. It's cutthroat. You're very engaged. Other than that, maybe Western Legends, because you're constantly riding around and fighting each other in that one as well.
Your classic one from the past would be 7 Wonders.
Oh, yeah. Card drafting. Any roll and write, pretty much. You're all doing the same stuff at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe Azul as well. Does that play 5?
I don't know.
I bet it does.
Yido, that's another one. Moonrakers is a negotiation style game. Empire's Age of Discovery, that goes up to 6. And although you will have to wait your turn, the way that Empire's Age of Discovery has that little action selection thing and you put your workers on there, you're constantly engaged, not only with worrying about losing your spot, but also when you do go over to the American map and get your spices or whatever, then you're going to be fighting each other. And it's a good one at a high count.
Yeah. Azul only plays up to 4, so you were wrong about that one.
You're wrong.
What? How dare you? Cosmic Encounter, there you go. There's another one that would be good at 5.
Oh God.
All these, Skull King, there's a good one. Skull King's a fantastic game.
Trick-taking. I see. I mean, but that would never make my list. Those 2 games.
Well, you can't just keep on saying, oh, well, that's trick-taking. Oh, that's card drafting. Oh, that's...
Well, he asked me for mine, and okay, this is yours, but on my list, I will strike Cosmic Encounter and Skull King.
Well, you don't know what you're talking about for Skull King. It's the finest game ever made.
No.
Possibly.
It's just trick-taking. They're all the same.
They're not all the same. And number 2,
they are.
All worker placements are all the same. All these games are the same.
It has I played a 6 of Hearts. My 7 of Hearts beats that. Oh, no, you got a trump card. That's every trick-taking game ever.
Yeah, you have you ever played Skull King?
Yes.
Well,
the pirates are the trumps,
well,
except for the Skull King.
That's not the interesting bit about it, though, Gaby. Shut your jaundiced face.
And then the mermaid beats the pirate. But the Kraken beats the mermaid.
Right, that's it. I'm deleting this podcast. You've made the mistake of having me record my end, but I don't have to put up with this rudeness. The interesting thing is you're trying to lose tricks. And sometimes you're trying to lose them, sometimes you're trying to win them. It's hilarious. Apart from for you, who only likes playing.
You know what
look. You're the tango man. That's what you are, and you won't even know what that means, but you are.
Spades is the exact same thing. Trick taking hasn't changed since spades.
Well, do you know what?
You can still go Nello or whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. I don't play many.
You're trying not to get a trick.
Yeah. I was saying this to someone the other day. I think because I played a game where someone I looked it up and it was basically the same as a traditional card game. And just because it's the same as a traditional card game, don't say it's not a good game, idiot.
I don't like trick-taking.
Well, you've got no idea. Do you know, I'm glad you won't come to my house. That's what I'm saying.
There's not enough they have made no progress on the trick-taking.
I'm beyond speaking to you now.
And that's going to do it for this episode.
Oh, Last Light. That's a good one. That only plays up to 4 Last Light. So.
Oh, is that the Roy Kennedy game?
Yeah, it's good.
I missed out on that one.
Well, I'd get it when it comes to retail. It was quite pricey on Kickstarter. I think retail will be where it makes its mark because it is a truly very good game.
I haven't kickstarted. I haven't game founded. I haven't even purchased. My one Kickstarter finally came in. Backyard Chickens. It's been sitting on the table for 2 weeks now because I have no one to play it with.
Yeah,
man.
You should back the Cora Quest expansion. I've heard that's good.
Does it have a solo?
It does. Yeah, Cora Quest is soloable.
Well, then I may get it. That's why I have to. I bought this game with the mistaken thinking that I have since given up on for quite some time, but yet this is the outlier that, maybe my wife or Sade will be interested in this game. Just stop. They're not interested. My wife has finally just told me, I don't want to play your games. I'm like, okay, now I know. I will stop looking for the family quote unquote style games because they're not interested. That's why I had a dream where Jerry died. It was a sad dream.
Okay.
The first thing I thought of in that dream, who am I going to play my games with? Because that's it. It's Jerry and Enrique. Every now and then I go to
join a board game club or something like that.
I live in Northeast Texas, Dan. There's no one here. I'd have to travel to Dallas, which is 2 hours away, to find anything board game related.
Are you sure?
I live in the sticks. I live in a rural area.
Do you have a farm?
Huh?
Do you have a farm? Do you have a homestead?
I'm not that rural. My in-laws do.
Northeast Texas board game.
It's gonna pull up Dallas, which is nowhere near me. I mean, it's near if you want to hop in a car and drive for 2 hours. The other side is Texarkana, another 2 hours away from me.
I didn't even know Texarkana was a actual place.
Yeah, I think it was made most popular by a movie about some serial killer that went through there or something.
Okay.
There's a movie called Texarkana.
It's in the Smokey and the Bandit theme tune.
There's also a movie called Paris. Talk about Paris, Texas. I don't think it has anything really to do with actual city, but Is there a movie called Huddersfield?
No, there's very little called Huddersfield. Even Huddersfield itself is reluctant to call itself Huddersfield.
Did you find anything on your Googling of my area? Don't be Googling my areas.
Are you near Bryan College Station?
No. Oh, no. That is many, many, many hours away. That's where Texas A&M is at. That's like probably 5 or 6 hours away.
You'll have to drive that over there to the weekly game night meetups at Murphy's Law and Cardi's pub. Are you near Plano?
Yes, that's and again about an hour and a half away.
You need to move up north. That's what I say.
We had this discussion.
When was that? I don't remember that.
We'll have to take our parents and push them out into the snow.
Move to Madison, then you can push them into the lakes of the Great Lakes, and move to Madison, then you can go to Madison Board Games and Beer. I like Madison. I've been there before.
But here's another thing. I don't know. I've said this when it comes to us going to board game conventions. I'm not an outgoing person. I'm not the type of person that walks up to strangers and says, "Hey, can I join your game?"
Well, usually game groups, a good game group will have someone there to welcome you and get you into a game. That's certainly what our game group does. But
So I just walk in the door and look forlorn.
yeah, walk in the door, look forlorn, and someone, either Flavian, the CEO of Hache in the UK, or various other members of the group, will come over to you and say, "You're here for the board game club? Do you want to play a game? Here, come sit down with me," and they'll gather some people round and then teach you a game, and then you'll play it.
Sounds very nice.
Yeah. It's not, because there were a bunch of weirdos in that board game club.
and I would be one of them.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be the one no one wants to play with. Everyone would see you come in and they'd all leap out the back. That's what I'd do.
Oh, they'll look at me and they'll say, "Hey, is that Gaby from the Board Game Snobs podcast?"
The famous Gaby.
the jaundiced one.
That's it, yeah. The one who looks like a tangerine. What?
I do have a fuzzy little fuzz right here on top.
Tangerines don't have fuzz. You're thinking of peaches.
Oh, that's a peach.
Or a nectarine, maybe you're thinking of.
I don't know fruits. I don't know where New Zealand's at.
No, you certainly don't. What about kiwis? That's both your Achilles heels all in one. What does a kiwi look like? Well, first of all, you found it just off the coast of France.
It's fuzzy and green. I know that much.
Yeah. Do you eat kiwis the skin on or the skin off?
I don't eat kiwis.
Why not?
They're disgusting.
What have you got against kiwis?
They're disgusting.
What are you talking about? They're disgusting.
I eat key lime pie.
I've never had a key lime pie. I'm going to have one when I go to Miami.
Ooh, they're good.
You need to come to the Dice Tower retreat.
I'm not that elite.
I could get you in.
Not everybody. Not every. Oh, the speakeasy.
Yeah. I'll sneak you in the back. What we'll do is we'll use the same pass, and you wear a false beard, and then throw it out the toilet windows to me.
I'll say I'm the American Dan Hughes.
Go watcha. All right, hey up, lad.
Hey up, lad.
There you go. You can do it. You get in, and then you go to the toilet, throw the pass out the bathroom window. I'll catch it around the other side, run round, and I'll come in, and no one will ever know.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Let's do it, baby.
All right. Well, thank you very much for once again.
Your podcasts are always too short. I'm just getting into my stride.
I got things.
I've got 2 hours left in me here, Gaby.
I've got to go sit out in the sun.
No. I refuse.
I actually
just bring a dialysis machine inside.
I actually am. I'm going to meet Jerry at a friend of ours at Enrique's father's house. He actually has a real swimming pool, and we're fixing to go swimming and play water volleyball and frolic in the sun.
So why can't you do a podcast at the same time? Take your phone and put it in a plastic bag, and then record.
We don't have nothing to talk about. We haven't played no games.
Well,
I don't want my equipment to get bad. We mentioned 5-player games.
You know what you what?
Huh?
What are you saying about your equipment?
I don't want my equipment to get messed up.
Okay, fair enough.
My podcast recording
equipment. Oh, your recording equipment, that's what I was going to say. I was going to suggest you don't go into the pool in that case.
Well, that's going to
I'm going to keep putting you off. I'm going to keep putting you off until...
That's a weird way to end the podcast.
No. I'm going to keep putting you off until you record a proper length podcast.
We're going to... And now for my third ending. That's going to do it for this episode of the Board Game Snobs podcast.
What do you call an elderly kangaroo? That's the question that they're all wanting to know. What do you call an elderly kangaroo?
Oh, I thought you had a good pun in there for me.
No. I don't. We don't do good puns on this podcast. I already know that. Kangaroo Jack. That was a film. Let's talk about that for 20 minutes.
That's one of Sarday's favorite movies.
Is it really? Yeah.
Yes.
What other films have kangaroos in it? You got Crocodile Dundee, surely, and especially Crocodile Dundee. What's the one where he goes back to the outback? Is that 3 or 2? Crocodile Dundee 2, is it?
Crocodile Dundee 2 is where he goes back.
That's my favourite one. I like that one.
It is my favourite as well.
Yeah. Out of all the all the hundreds of Crocodile Dundee films, that stands up as
of that magnificent franchise.
It's the Empire Strikes Back of Crocodile Dundee films, I think.
It really was, because he got hurt.
Yeah.
I remember he got hurt because she thought he was the bad guy and she shot him. Remember that?
I do.
He had reversed places with the drug lords, and he was wearing the drug lord's clothing, and she shot him thinking he was the bad guy.
It still brings a tear to my eye.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, okay, Crocodile Dundee, a ridiculous movie, but it's got a good soundtrack. It's got a good theme song. Theme song.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee, Crocodile Dundee, Crocodile Dundee, Crocodile Dundee.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Board Game.
What other films have they got with kangaroos in it? Kangaroo Jack, Crocodile Dundee. I can't think of any other films. I'll just Google this, Gaby. Hang a second. Films.
You're hijacking my show.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.
Films with kangaroos. Top search on Christopher Robin. Oh,
Jack's got to be number one.
Oh, Tank Girl. Of course. Tank Girl.
I don't even remember that movie.
Oh, well, it's a good film.
I just remember that's the movie with...
Ice-T is a kangaroo.
What was her name?
Ice-T. He's a man. It's a man. But Ice-T's male.
The girl that was in Tank Girl, the main girl, Lori Petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't play a kangaroo, though. Ice-T did.
No, but she was the main character, and then she made like all those movies in the 90s, and then hasn't done much. Much like Pauly Shore. What happened to Pauly Shore?
I'll Google it. What happened to Pauly Shore? And then we'll come back to the kangaroo question in a second. All the Winnie the Pooh films, they've all got kangaroos in as well. What happened?
I think he's like trying to podcast these days, which is what your keyboard is really loud.
It's a mechanical keyboard.
Oh my god!
What happened to Pauly Shore? He's on Board Game Barrage podcast. Changed his name to Kellen. Well, there you go.
That explains it all. And now for the half-dozenth time, thanks for listening to the Board Game Snobs. But you really are wanting to keep talking, aren't you?
Joey's another film with kangaroos in it.
I'm trying to end the show
Down Under.
So I can don my bikini and go swimming.
Skippy the bush kangaroo, the film. That's one.
He's not going to stop. He's not stopping. No wonder.
Kangaroo Jack. Good Day USA.
Mike doesn't record with him hardly anymore. No wonder.
We may be running out here. Wolf Creek 2. That can't be true.
Wolf Creek. I go skiing there sometimes.
Well, I bet Quigley Down Under had kangaroos in it somewhere.
Quigley Down Under. The finest of Tom Selleck movies.
Yep.
Where he was a Western man.
In the Down
shooting
Under area.
Bad guys with a rifle that he would flip the sight up on, and everybody thought that was so cool back in the day.
Big Daddy as well, apparently, with Adam Sandler. I've not seen that one, but does that have a kangaroo in it? You're the Big Daddy expert.
I'm not a Adam Sandler aficionado. I've seen most of his movies, but I do not remember a kangaroo specifically.
So anyway, I know you want to keep on talking, Gaby, but we really must go. If you do know of any kangaroo movies, could you please go to the Board Game Barrage Discord? Go to the Board Game Barrage Discord, and in every forum they've got, name all the kangaroo movies. That would be lovely if you could do that.
Top 5
kangaroo movies. Everyone's top 5 kangaroo movies. Board Game Barrage Discord channel. Go for it.
There you go. All right. Let's see. This might be number 7 or 8. Thanks for listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Dan, thanks for coming on here and ruining this episode with your kangaroo talk. Your wild wallaby incantations.
We didn't do wallaby movies, did we? Hang on, I bet there's not many.
I'm gonna just cut. I'm just gonna Skype out, end call. That's what I'm gonna have to do.
Wallaby Jim Island. That's one. Categories: films about wallabies and George of the Jungle.
I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know.
Kangaroo, a love-hate story. That's like you.
What is that? Between two kangaroos or a man and a kangaroo? What is that?
It's an environmental documentary.
No, I don't do documentaries.
No, that's Mike Delicio's.
Have you
pressed stop recording yet or not?
No.
Oh, Join us next week. Join us next week on Board Game Snobs.
That's going to do it.
We'll go through the wannabe movies.
Bye.
And then we're going to move on to Wombats.
I'm done.